roughly about 2, 3 months ago, we launched this feature called actually a brand new product called Demo Hub. The goal is like, you have all sorts of releases across the year that happen, but then, like there are like these one or two major releases that happen. And my CEO and I had a chat and they're like, we need to do something different with this, right? Like it's not just going to be something which goes on the change log or a blog goes out or something goes on social. Like this is sort of like a brand like an opportunity for a brand launch where we could really reach a very wide market. It was also like a first in category sort of a feature. So it needed that sort of an attention. So what we did was, first of all, like what I just explained, right? Like we really nailed down on that particular positioning for this product, right? So based on what I just explained, like the positioning was that one demo is not enough to educate the buyer. That's kind of like what we went with. And then we basically made the campaign around this whole narrative that one demo is not enough to educate the buyer. And like like the standard playbook is like you go, put something on product hunt, get upvotes there, get a press release out, maybe spend like 20, $30,000 on like this really fancy video and then kind of go out there. But I think that's just, I feel like a lot of these things are just overused to death at this time. So we needed a way to be a little different. So what we did was, I think first is we basically started working with a bunch of LinkedIn creators and started to see how, we basically gave them like these sort of challenges that, hey, listen, here's the narrative, what can you come out of it, right? And so we like there were a bunch of folks we worked with. There's this guy called Ryan from Laudable, super funny. You should definitely follow him on LinkedIn. There's another guy called Sanjeev NT. He's super funny and he's got a lot of things. We also worked with Travis Tyler, a bunch of others, right?
Mhm.
And really, like the goal was to build hype for the live event where we were going to do the launch. So we basically, instead of doing like this one day where the product releases to everybody, we actually built the hype to a live event where we were going to kind of present the product and answer questions in real time. So that was kind of like, so the
Mm.
event was on May 15th, and we basically built, so it was like, and it was kind of like a slow trickle sort of a reveal of the live event. So it was like, we every week we're like dropping teasers like, hey, something big is coming from Storylane, something that's going to change the, like the demo space, something first of a kind. And so I think by the end of like those 3, 4 weeks, we had built so much hype, right? That, like we were scared that were we going to be like, would we be able to live up to that hype, right? Like it
Yeah.
was much going on, and that's actually a real struggle, but it also worked in our favor. Like, and we did a bunch of things, not just used humor as a way to kind of spread and amplify a particular message in this teaser. We also sort of kind of worked with a bunch of folks we admired in the past and basically sent out these secret swag boxes to them, right? And it was basically like it had a couple of items in the box and like a note which had like a top secret written and said that, hey, something is coming out of Storyline on May 15th. And, the hint is that there's, you need more than one demo to educate the buyer. And that got a lot of advocacy on LinkedIn and all of that, right? So it was just these things that ultimately just built out the hype. And by the end of this launch, I think we had something like 700 plus companies in the wait list. We had almost a 35-40% lift in brand searches. So we basically, the way we measure brand is like how many people are searching for Storyline on Google Search Console. And we saw a lift there, like, in those weeks of the launch. And it actually worked out pretty well for us. Yeah.